Welcome back. Well, our next guest is Jamie Snider with Snider & Associates. And Jamie, you and I have known each other for a little while now. You're on the board of directors with us for the Brunswick Area Chamber of Commerce. But truly, I don't know much about your business. So why don't you start off first, though, by telling a little bit about yourself and how you've gotten involved with what you're doing.
Well, I kind of grew up with it because it's a family business. My dad started it back in the 80s. And I just kind of grew up knowing playgrounds and knowing the recreation industry. And you went off to college, got into mechanical engineering, did a few things at some other companies, and then when it was an opportunity to come work for my dad, he basically invited me and my brother at one point. We both worked for him, and just kind of grew up with it and know what the business is. Okay,
so let's back up a step. So you are a Brunswick resident, correct?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your involvement in Brunswick and the things that you're doing.
Well, I guess, it's me and my wife, Lonnie, and my 4 kids, so she's heavily involved in what the kids do, as well as I am, like Brunswick Preschool PTA and the PTA at Kidder Elementary. My kids go to school. We also are members at St. Ambrose, so we do a lot of stuff over at St. Ambrose. Also on the board and a member of Brunswick Rotary, so we get involved in the community that way as well.
Good. And so now on to your family business that you're involved with. Specifically, what do you do?
The main thing we do is commercial playgrounds, which is the kind of stuff you would see at like a park or a school, or sometimes at like a daycare or child care facility. They would have a commercial playground. That expands in the recreation industry also into like picnic shelters, where you might have a family gathering at a park, or like a spray park we talked about, where the kids go out and there's a surface where the water sprays up at them and then it stops and it comes back up and moves around to different areas.
Those are fabulous.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, and that's our business. It is a lot of fun, and that's what we're looking for, is to try and bring the fun out at a school or in a park or even a child care facility. That's part of growing up, is to experience that. Well,
and especially the activity that it has the children doing, the physical activity, and that's such a kind of topic in today's world.
Yeah, it's a very big hot button with not only Parks and Rec, but also schools, is the obesity and the need for children to get out and play and run and exercise.
Oh, good. Now, you've done some playgrounds here in the city, correct?
Yeah, good. We've actually done some work at most of the public schools. We just recently this summer did a playground for St. Ambrose.
Wonderful.
And I think everybody...
you know what? I saw that one.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful. Good.
Thank you.
Well, good. And so what else? I know that your business expands a little bit past the playgrounds. What else do you do?
Well, we get into anything you see at a park and recreation kind of facility. So, like I mentioned, the spray parks, or you get into bleachers. Let's say a bleacher at like a baseball field, the 5-row bleacher you might sit in and watch from the sidelines. We also get into different types of shade and picnic shelters that I talked about, as far as having a family gathering. You would see a picnic shelter there, but even as so much as like the benches you might see at any park, or the trash cans, things like that are durable outdoor type products. We get into. So we also get into fitness equipment too. So when you talk about the children and the play value, there's also the adult level of getting out and doing fitness at some of these fitness parks that are becoming more and more popular.
Okay, all right. And I know your company is here locally, but your business expands a very vast area. How far do you service?
Yeah, actually we cover 4 states. So where I'm kind of focused in Ohio, our whole company actually is Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Michigan.
Wow. So do you, when you're doing a playground somewhere, you send the crew there for, what's usually the installation time for, I guess maybe like a normal playground?
I would say when we go to a site, usually there, if we're doing the full install, we're there for a week. We do offer opportunities where it's kind of like a fundraising volunteer kind of effort, where we actually supervise. So we'll go out on a Saturday with volunteers and help them build the playground. Depending on the size, we can get it done in a day. Sometimes they get an extra day. And usually the volunteers have to kind of do a little bit beforehand and do a little bit after. But the main hard part of knowing how the playground goes together, we do in one day.
Okay, so part of your business, or a large part of it, is the finishing, the installation and finishing it, and it's ready to go, correct?
Yeah. I think when I first meet with people, potential customers, they're a little bit unsure of how it all goes together. So there is instructions, but knowing what you're doing before you get into it, I think, is a big part of our business. Is that the value we add as far as the installation and the installation services is a huge part of our business. That you look at the directions, everybody gets confused, or you look at a playground, you may think, oh, that can't be that difficult. And I've had several customers that once they really get into the nitty-gritty realize, maybe we should work with Snider to get this installed so that we get installed correctly and on time.
Right, I would think safety would be a huge one in that area.
That's a big issue too.
Well, good.
We actually have to get certified. I'm certified playground safety inspector.
Okay.
So our installers, to make sure that when we install playgrounds, we're doing that safely. So
Okay.
that when the kids go to play on it, that we've made all the precautions to, make sure it's installed correctly.
Okay, good. How many employees do you have working at your facility?
There's less than 10, but it can
Okay.
fluctuate in a busy season. Obviously, the summertime is a very busy season for us as far as playgrounds go. The wintertime, not so much.
Okay, is there certain things, we were talking beforehand that you do some installation of docks?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
our only kind of retail side of the business is actually boat docks for people that
okay.
live on the water, have a home on the water, or a place on the water where they've got jet skis or boats and they want to get access to them. We have various, if you're into boating, you'll kind of know the different types of docks we have. We have floating docks where you can walk out, float on the water. We've got stationary docks where there's actually poles that rest on the bottom of the water. And then we've got some where you actually have you can drive your jet ski right on it, so you can keep the jet ski out of the water without having to put it on a trailer and take it out.
Okay, all right. So you could do those for like some local lakes if your family has a lake behind you, or are they too big?
Yeah, and most of it is where there's like jet ski access.
Okay.
That tends to be the most popular. Although we've done a few small ponds where somebody put a little extension out just to get onto the water. Mainly it's up by like Sandusky and near Cleveland where people have the jet skis and they want to keep them all summer long in the water, but not technically in the water on the dock. So.
Good. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We're out of time, and but I appreciate all the information, and now I can say I learned more about your company and our meetings.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back. Thank you.